A looming deadline for government shutdown on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers remain deadlocked on a budget. The long-awaited release comes today for the movie The Lost Bus about the Camp Fire, where and when you can see it locally. And for the first time in a decade, the Oroville Police Department is fully staffed. White voters get partial credit.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
We are seeing scattered showers today for this last Friday of summer. This is a live look from our Bloomer camera overlooking beautiful Lake Oroville. Quite a few clouds in the sky there. For the very latest, we check in with Court Klopping.
Yeah, it's certainly not looking or feeling like it's still summer across our region right now. And here's the view to the west across the valley. The Deer Creek Highway camera up Highway 32 east of Chico looking west over the valley, showing cloudy skies overhead. The hyper-local look at your satellite and radar. We've had some showers that I've been tracking for you. It's been little more than scattered sprinkles for the most part across our region so far, but you can see as those showers shift further west in Glenn and Tehama counties towards the coastal range, those pockets of heavier rain are developing right now and could be seeing more of that on the way throughout the rest of the day into this evening. So be prepared. Even though it hasn't been too wet with those showers, we have more on the way for the rest of your Friday. Now heading into your afternoon, temperatures currently pretty comfortable. Low to mid 70s for Chico, 75 degrees in Redding, 76 degrees for Red Bluff, and 74 degrees still for Oroville. So much cooler than yesterday. High temperatures upper 70s to low 80s with humidity dipping into the upper 40s and wind to 10 miles an hour out of the south, leaving us with low fire danger for today. Linda, coming up in a few minutes, I'll be tracking warming temperatures ahead for your weekend and a hotter start to your fall season on Monday.
All right. Thank you, Court. A $2,500 reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest of a Redding shooting suspect. We first told you about this shooting a little more than a week ago, September 10th, around 3:30 p.m. on Delta Street. Police found a man who had been wounded by gunshots on both legs. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Redding Police Department. You can also give your tip anonymously by calling Shasta County Secret Witness. Redding police also asking for help identifying a vandalism suspect. Take a look. Police say the man you see in this video is suspected of vandalizing the window of a business in the Foundry Square shopping center. You can see him as he walks down the ramp there. Police say the vandalism happened August 30th. If you have any information, contact the Redding Police Department. 7 new police officers are on the job in Oroville after taking the oath of office at this week's City Council meeting.
All right, excellent. Well done.
The police department now fully staffed for the first time in 10 years with 15 post-credited officers. Mayor David Pittman says this has been a major goal for the city.
Single mom can go down to a business in downtown Oroville and be there at 7 o'clock at night and not worry about her own personal safety. I think that's a big statement right there by itself. That to me is a benchmark when our own citizens feel safe and secure about conducting business in our community, feeling safe at home, and feeling safe that there's a more than adequate response to any of their needs that may be both on the casual problem, but also on the emergency and crisis basis.
City officials say the additional officers were made possible by voters passing a local sales tax, Measure U. The movie The Lost Bus opens in select theaters today. It's the story of the Paradise School bus driver who saved 22 children during the Camp Fire. Here's a look at the trailer.
I thought that I'd be safe here. Follow the rules, and nothing bad could truly happen.
I spent my entire life trying to escape. Then after a few years, my life turned to shame. When I first got the call to go pick up the kids, I started to think that maybe I could earn a second chance. too late for second chances.
It's not too late. I want my daddy.
He's doing everything he can to get to you.
We gotta get these kids out of here.
Tell them to save lives wherever they can. That's all we can do now.
I have 22 kids on that bus. I gotta get them to their parents. Hang on!
Now, Matthew McConaughey plays the role of Paradise bus driver Kevin McKay, and next week you can see the movie locally at the Pageant Theater in Chico, September 25th through the 28th, the Feather River Cinemas in Oroville next Thursday and Friday, the 25th and 26th, and at Spotlight Cinemas in Red Bluff. Those show times will be announced next week. The Lost Bus will be released for streaming on Apple TV Plus on October 3rd. The movie release has the Paradise Ridge Chamber of Commerce reaching out to share how Paradise is doing after the Camp Fire. The Chamber says it's thriving. It says rebuilding and infrastructure development have contributed to a 139% increase in population since January of 2019 and a 29% increase in the community of Magalia. It also points to utility and infrastructure improvements with PG&E upgrades now 87% complete. Cable upgrades are 73% complete, as are water upgrades, and telecommunications upgrades are at about 65% complete right now. There are dozens of new businesses on the Ridge, a 20% increase in chamber membership in just the past 3 years. We'll take a closer look on tonight's news. The federal government set to shut down at 12:01 a.m. October 1st if a funding bill isn't passed. But today, the U.S. Senate voted to reject 2 continuing resolutions to fund the government and avoid a shutdown. One of them, a Republican-backed bill that passed the House earlier in the day by a vote of 217 to 212. It failed to get the 60 votes to be adopted in the Senate, where lawmakers also voted down a Democratic version of a funding bill. The failures underscore a divide between the two parties and the two houses of Congress. Thousands are expected to gather Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona for the funeral and public memorial of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Andre Gutierrez is outside the Washington County Sheriff's Office where Kirk's alleged assassin surrendered with details of the upcoming memorial.
Security is expected to be extremely tight. The Department of Homeland Security has classified the memorial as a level 1 security event. It's the same level of protection as the Super Bowl. It means that local, state, and federal law enforcement are all coordinating security. Those going should expect airport-style screening and a strict no-bag policy. Police are already warning about long lines at the gates and asking people to be patient. Parking lots will open as early as 7 a.m. and doors to the stadium an hour later at 8. The program itself begins at 11 local time. Although it will be first come, first served seating, people are encouraged to register online ahead of time. Inside the stadium, the program will feature a lineup of prominent conservative voices. We know that Kirk's widow, Erica, will speak. President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance are confirmed. Turning Point USA, the organization Kirk founded, says more names will be announced leading up to the service. Now, State Farm Stadium can hold more than 60,000 people, but organizers are also opening an overflow venue next door at Desert Diamond Arena to help manage the large crowds they're expecting. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Hurricane, Utah.
Vigils are being held across the North State to remember Kirk. Last night, about 1,000 people gathered at Shasta College in Redding. 2 more prayer vigils tonight in Glenn and Tehama counties, one in Orland at Library Park. That starts at 7. Another in Red Bluff at 7:30 at the old courthouse on Washington Street. You've heard of poetry slams. How about a storytelling slam? A guest joins us next with details of just such an event that promises music, laughter, and some great stories. We'll be right back.